So let's talk about some politics now. San Francisco is experiencing a mass exodus, and the city's liberal policies are said to be to blame. Tens of thousands of residents leave the Bay Area while an influx of immigrants flood the sanctuary city, according to KPIX TV. For the first time in decades, more people are leaving San Francisco than there are new people moving into the city. The mass exodus has propelled the Bay Area to the nation's leading city for out-migration. According to the Mercury News, the median price for homes in Silicon Valley fell anywhere between $800,000 to more than $1.4 million. That's compared to the U.S. average of $206,000. San Francisco has also become one of the most progressive cities in the nation over the last few decades, culturally and politically, meaning liberal policies rule the day. The city is also heavily taxed. But another large contributor to the problem, no doubt, is the city's sanctuary city policy. It was the center of a national controversy after an undocumented immigrant murdered Kate Steinle in 2015, which was something that we also talked about on the podcast. Now, if this is your first time on the podcast or first time tuning in and listening about politics and everything, sanctuary cities, just so you understand the term and don't have to look it up, is basically defined as a city that allows illegal immigrants into the city as a kind of, I hate to use this word, but safe zone for them. That's exactly what it is. We got to stick with the liberal policies and what they push. It is a safe zone where ICE officials and city officials and police officers and other law enforcement agencies in that city are not allowed to go after these illegal immigrants and deport them. There's even cases where people have gotten away with murder, like Kate Steinle's case, that they are already doing something illegal by being here, they commit a crime, and then they're set free. I mean, what more do you want at this point? One of the stories that we're not going to be getting to tonight is this whole budget issue that the Congress is going through right now, where President Trump is literally giving the Democrats everything that they want. As a matter of fact, he is giving the Democrats almost double what they were asking for, and they're still not signing off on it. And we talked about that before. Number one, they were looking for 800,000 illegal immigrants to stay in the United States. President Obama said, you know what, how about we give you 1.8 million? So a million more than double what they were asking for. Okay. We want them to be here and be considered legally here. Now, that's not legal status. That is just that they are legally allowed to be here. He said, hold on a second. Let's go a step further. Let's give all these people a pathway to citizenship so that they can actually become citizens and pay into the tax system. And what are the Democrats saying in regards to this? The only thing that President Trump asked in return for all of that, basically doubling down the Democratic policies, is that he wanted a wall built, or at least part of the wall built. And they're refusing to budge on this. Why would the Democrats be refusing to budge and give President Trump what they want? Why would they not give him what they want? That sounds like such a stupid thing to say. But the fact is, he is giving them everything that they want, and they're not taking it. Why wouldn't they take it? Well, it's a very simple reason why. Because they don't actually care about the people that are here illegally. They don't care about the illegal immigrants. What they do care about is the votes that they would get if they were seen as the heroes to pass such legislation. So the fact that if this were passed as an idea of Trump's and as Trump's olive branch to the Democrats, it would be seen as President Trump being the hero in the situation and possibly flipping the script on who those people would end up voting for. Any questions? No, because that is exactly what's happening. There's a lot going on there. Anyway, let's see. Between July 2015 and July 2017, the region gained 44,732 immigrants, but lost 44,102 residents to other parts of California and the country, according to the regional think tank. The population drops have been most notable on residents between the ages of 18 and 24 and between 45 and 64. Carol DeBach is a retired engineer and has lived in the area for 40 years. Now she's moving to Tennessee. I loved to hear when I first got here. I really loved to hear. But it's just not the same, she said to KPIX. We don't like it here anymore. You know, we don't like the sanctuary state status and just the politics here. Beyond the politics of accepting and protecting so many illegal immigrants into the city itself, one of the other problems that California as a whole is seeing, especially within their cities, the major cities like San Francisco, are things like the overpopulation and booming population of the homeless people within those cities, okay? There are so many, it's actually become almost like an epidemic in the city. And it's something that's not being reported by the media at all. It's a horrible problem where there are areas of cities where there are urine and feces streams in the streets, and the city absolutely stinks in some places, according to some of my California friends that live out there. As a matter of fact, we're going to interview Kira at CPAC next week. By the way, the podcast will be down at CPAC next week, so we have a lot of really cool things going on down there. And she's going to talk to us about California politics and what's actually been going on out there. And one of the things that we both agreed on that it would be a great topic is the homeless population out there, and that it's booming, and that liberal policies are failing these things. And the fact that you see this exact situation. This is exactly what we've talked about in the past. We have a booming population of immigrants coming into the city that are illegally there, as well as a booming population of homeless people. And instead of making policies and trying to push for things that protect and house these homeless Americans in the city, instead the Democrat politicians are turning around saying that we need to instead protect the people that are illegally here and get them education and home and housing and everything. Well, what about the American people? When Nancy Pelosi stood up in front of Congress and gave an 8-hour speech in regards to illegal immigrants, where has she been for her own people in California that are homeless? Where has the grandstanding been then? Here's the fact of the matter, okay? The Congress people on either side stood up and did two things when they assumed office. They made it their word to protect the Constitution of the United States, okay? And both sides have ripped it to shreds over the past decades, okay? The other thing that they go there to do is actually represent the American people in their districts. So, if that is your main priority, is the American people, Donald Trump isn't too far off the mark. You may not like his America First slogan, but as a politician, that's what you're there to do. You are there to represent the American people, not the people of Mexico, not the people of Denmark or Venezuela or Cuba. You can certainly discuss policies that affect foreign people in other countries that should be taken care of by their own countries. First of all, let's talk about that being the problem right there. They need to be focusing on the American people first, and if we can get that all under the right umbrella where everything's going smooth here in America first, then we can start focusing on these other people. I'm not saying be callous and push these people off to the side and don't care about them. By and large, the American population, the American country, is one of the most charitable, no, it is the most charitable country by and large, far and above any other country in charitable giving to other countries and within this country itself, okay? Other countries, especially socialist countries, have become so dependent upon the government system of that country that philanthropy has virtually gone away. And there is no giving in those countries anymore. So our country gives on the personal basis out of our own wallets more than any other country out there. Not to mention all the other stuff that these organizations and government itself does for other countries as well, through relief efforts and other places like the UN as well. So yes, in regards to California, people like Nancy Pelosi and Barbara Boxer and Maxine Waters and all you other progressive liberal politicians that are out there that are standing up for these illegal immigrants, you want to do that? That's fine. Take care of the American people, especially those within your district first. Get the homeless people under control. And by under control, I don't mean shove them off into dark places and get rid of the problem. I'm talking about taking care of the problem. Take care of the homeless people that you have out in your districts right now, and then you can start focusing on the people that are here illegally.